listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Your hosts, Nate and John, cover their shared history with the band, discover new music together, and cover the farthest reaches of the Deep Purple family tree and beyond. Here's Nate and John now.
Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Today's episode is episode 358, Glenn Hughes, The Way It Is, Part 1. And coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, where it's unseasonably warm, I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, I'm your co-host, John, Commander-in-Beef Matola.
Was that AI, or did you come up with that?
No, it's AI again. This is as good as it can do.
It's not like Commander-in-Beef with a buzz cut or something. It's always...
Well, no, because I asked for, today's President's Day in the U.S.
Oh, that is true for all of you.
And I asked for, in the same thread, I'm keeping the same thread in AI for another nickname. And so the original one I hated because it said John Velour Hammer.
Velour Hammer? What does that even mean?
I don't know. It was like, what was that one that I had before the
Frank Sinatra with
Velvet Thunder or Velvet something.
Oh.
So now it's like, let's just do another obscure fabric.
It's not that obscure.
I don't know. Just all right. Well, I mean, how often do you come up with? Let me grab my velour pants today. No, using my jeans, my cotton.
It knows you're Italian, so it figures you must have some velour in your. I think it's actually learning. Maybe this AI thing isn't so bad after all.
Well, then I just changed it up and I said, make up a name for me for President's Day. And it came up with Commander-in-Beef, which, apparently that and Midnight Cannoli, it's like...
it's really going for a theme here.
Yeah, which is apparently my prowess or my schlong.
Your sexual prowess and your Italian heritage. Commander-in-Beef. The popular thing in the Chicago area is the Italian beef sandwich. So the Commander-in-Beef would be a pretty good name if I was going to start a new Italian beef chain.
Well, that would be fun. I thought you were going to say that would be better for me because I live in Chicago, which, I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah, Chicago.
What?
Nothing. Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's been like we went from taking like a month off, and then we had first couple of episodes with just guests, and then we had finally just us, and then we took another week off.
Yeah, it's all. Our schedule is a complete disaster, but hey, we're making it happen, folks.
I feel like we haven't recorded forever.
Yeah, it feels like it's been like an entire 6-month hiatus or something. But here we are. We are back. I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry. This is John Matola, and we're here to talk about Deep Purple, specifically Glenn Hughes this week and his 1999 album. But before we get to that, we do have to remind you that our show is 100% listener supported and ad free. So if you receive some value from our show, please consider giving us some value back. And you can do so by becoming a supporter on Patreon. Did I do something new on Patreon? I feel like I did something new on Patreon, but I can't remember now. But I did. I feel like I did something new with the tiers, but I think I was just looking because we have so many tiers now, most of which were created by our listeners. So thank you. So I think I was just monkeying around behind the scenes there and the other day just to see where we were at. But hey, folks, if you want to become a patron, just go to patreon.com. The link's in the show notes. Look for Deep Purple Podcast, and support us. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can buy some merch at our Etsy store. You can donate on PayPal, Cash App, or Ko-fi. Any way that you want to support the show. As a patron, you get access to our patrons-only Discord, our rating spreadsheets, invites to our live stream episodes, links to submissions for all of our album rankings, and access to our Too Hot for YouTube forbidden episodes on Patreon. The latest thing you get on Discord is I've been playing around with an RSS feed to auto feed Deep Purple related news headlines into the Discord. So there's a channel of just all Deep Purple news, but it's not going very well. It's importing a lot of weird things. Like apparently there's like some like aquatic life commissioner named Glenn Hughes. So all of a sudden there's all these stories about whales. So I'm trying to tweak it so that it doesn't bring in, and there's some guy named David Coverdale who's writing about the Olympics, so I had to like tweak it so that it, like, if it mentions the Olympics, it doesn't put it in there. So it just so happens we're recording this during the 2026 Winter Olympics. It probably won't be such a big deal after that. But yeah, it's kind of a disaster, but I've been going through so far and manually editing out stories that have nothing to do with Deep Purple. But there's been some good stuff getting through. But mostly it's been a disaster. But this is the kind of things that we play around with on Patreon.
Trial and error.
A lot of, and mostly emphasis on the error. But speaking of patrons,
patron upgrade.
We do have a patron upgrade this week. Our one and only Joe Sigler upgrading to the $5 money lender tier.
Hey-o.
And Joe says, don't have anything particularly interesting to say about it, just something that's been on my mind for a while. So, yes, we know. I think the biggest barrier to entry for people supporting the show is like, you know how it is. You listen to something maybe only while you're driving. You're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should join and sign up and support it. And then by the time you get wherever you're going or get home, you just forget. And then the next time you're driving, you're like, oh yeah, I still haven't done that. And then a year goes by. So I get it. I've been there. But if you are thinking about us and thinking about donating, set yourself some sort of reminder or something. We'd love to have you join our collection of patrons.
Or, you know, like me, you're just too damn cheap.
Or you're a cheapskate. Either way. No, we understand every so often somebody bows out and says, my economic situation changed or whatever. We get it.
All good.
Yeah, no worries. As long as you're listening to the show, we're happy. And if you can afford at the moment to support us, we appreciate it. So speaking of patrons, at the executive level, the in memoriam tier, the wonderful late Gerald, Jerry, Kelly, and family. At the $25 uncommon man tier, we have Ovis Nakfi. At the 20 is plenty tier, we have Alan. At the 10-pound good doctor tier, we have Dr. Mike Catan.
Somebody get me some doctors.
At the turn it up to $11 tier, Clay Wambacher, Frank Thielgard, Mortensen, Mikkel Steen, Will Porter, PhDPP, and Michael, don't call him Richie Moore Black Bagford. At the $10 someone came tier, Ryan M, Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, better call Saul Evans. And Peter from Illinois. And at the 8-pound lesser known patrons tier, Robert Smith. Then not to be forgotten, The Deep Thoughts by John Matola tier, Fielding Fowler.
And now, Deep Thoughts by John Matola.
Yes, Nate's bullfighter riff.
Feelings on fire tonight.
Thank you so much for all of you for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. I feel like if there's somebody trying to sneak down the stairs, just do it.
I mean,
okay, I can hear something, but
I thought it was at my house too, because I heard the little creaking and I'm like, is that here or that's there? But I saw you look over toward your stairs and I'm like, all right, good.
I don't see anybody. They might be slithering down their belly like a snake, like a sneaky snake down the stairs. I don't see anybody, but I hear movement. They did just move the PlayStation upstairs, so they might have forgotten something down here. That was, of course, right before they unplugged our internet. And then don't forget our Hall of Fame here. We have, of course,
Rich, Yangui, Shayla. Who the hell is that?
Jorg Planer and Norman Weichelbaum. Thank you so much to all of you for your support of the Deep Purple podcast. And then don't forget all of you patrons, and you people listening, just to know it's coming up, we have a rankings episode coming up for the album and it's going to be a big one, so make sure to sign up and rank those songs on Stormbringer. It's a tough one. Not as tough as Burn, I don't think, but still pretty tough. And before we get into the meat of the episode, the crux of the episode, we do have one more thing, and that is, of course, postcards from the edge of Connecticut. And I do have a postcard right here. This one's actually from Florida. Vero Beach, Florida, right there.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Nate, now here is a greeting from Florida for you, Pete. And this one's actually, I think, 3 months old at this point. I found it when I was cleaning off my desk, and I found that, and I found a thing of Sanka that has since expired.
Ah, yes.
That Pete had sent. Oh, jeez.
Well, then, I mean, if you wait long enough, you could show a postcard from Pete where he sent it a long time ago. He's probably already back in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. And then I've got this parcel here. I've got a couple of parcels. Well, actually, this isn't a parcel. It's an envelope. I've got an envelope and a parcel. I'm going to carefully cut this one open and see what's in here. What the heck is this? Oh, no. Come on. It's really stuck in there. What the heck?
Come on, you.
How did he get it in there? I might need some more scissors here. This is from, oh wow, this is pretty cool. It barely fit in that envelope. This is Nate. Now here are some stickers for those children that live in your house. Are they too old for stickers? Pete, Happy New Year. So this is an old one. And it's got worldwide flags.
Oh.
See that?
That's pretty neat.
All of these different flags. It goes from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. I wonder if there's there's a USSR flag, so it shows you how there's got to be like East Germany and West Germany, right? He circled. You can see right here. He circled the Czechoslovakian flag and wrote JLT. And then how is it? Let's see. Does it have a West Germany? No, there's no. Wait, Germany. Do they put them under Germany or West and East? Oh, no, there's a unified German flag, but there's also a USSR flag. Interesting. Oh, this is pretty cool. Thank you. Self-adhesive educational insights stickers. And then we have one more. This is a package here. I'll hold
That's the parcel.
That's the parcel. Part and parcel here. It's kind of heavy. Let's see what... This is also from... These are all from Pete today. Yeah, I should have gotten a little head start on this one. It's very well wrapped. Okay, it says... There's a little letter on the top here, and it says... Oh, jeez. a bunch of business cards flew out. That was one of those cans of peanuts that throw out all the skates. Snakes. This one says, Nate, on a recent episode of the Deep Purple podcast, DPP, you mentioned something about rye cooter. So, of course, I knew that I could help scratch that itch. Enclosed are 4 gently used rye cooter CDs that I acquired in the late 80s because I was told I should be a fan by some critic or dope on the radio at the time. Also enclosed are some other audio gifts and some more software for that mega computer you stitched together. Oh boy, Pete. This is from just a few days ago as we record. Also enclosed are the new 70s Weekly business cards. Yes, they look very sharp.
Oh yeah, look nice.
And I'm not saying that just because I designed the logo. Okay, so probably the most best of Rye records in the box. This one's Rye Cooter Bop Till You Drop. Nate, guaranteed not to have AI. Corel Draw. You remember that program?
Wow.
It's a CD-ROM. Thank you. Ooh, Nate, this is Stanley Jordan, not Roper. Oh, it's got his... I'm going to put... Wait, is this... What is this? Oh, yeah, Stanley Jordan. He has a little... it looks like an old address on it, so I'll cover that up so you can't track him. So here we go. Then we've got Rye Cooter. Listen to this and tell me if it's, quote, jazz. And it says Rye Cooter Jazz. All of his CDs have his address on them, so I have to cover them up.
Oh.
Ry Cooder Jazz. And of course, Ry from
Ry Cooder's address?
no, no, Pete's.
Yeah.
Ry from Sabbath Bloody Podcast, of course, named after Ry Cooder. Whoa, this is Coney. Okay, Nate thought this was the Lou Reed LP. No, comes from my folks' collection. Enjoy. Coney Island Baby, the Society for the Preservation and Encouragement of Barbershop Quartet Singing in America. Nice short title for you to remember.
Okay.
My goodness, this just keeps going. Nate, this is forever. This is my former address stamped on the rear on the insert. Who would steal this? It's Ry Cooder, Chicken Skin Music. And it looks like it's a skeleton having sex with a lady. That's an interesting one. Nate, notes includes drivers and software for Windows operating systems. And this is a Gateway 2000 system CD.
Wow.
Remember that?
Jeez. Gateway. Jeez.
Oh my God, this just goes on forever. Smoky Mountain Christmas, a Cumberland Gap reunion. Dulcimer, auto harp, mandolin, fiddle, and banjo. It's a cassette.
Jesus.
Nate, it's a Cumberland Gap reunion Christmas. Oh my God, Pete. Nate, this is OK, PG, and this is the slide area, Ry Cooder. Nate, somehow I had two of these. It's Elvis Top 10 Hits CD. Nate thinks this comes from my folks' house. Never opened. You can re-gift. Jim Brickman, Escape. I don't even know who that is. And
I know what I want for my next birthday.
A box of random CDs.
Well, no, that Jim Brickman CD. It's never been opened.
Well, Nate, I have no idea. This is called Quang, for what it's worth. Quang. Wow. Okay, now I have a huge stack of CDs on my desk. Thank you, Pete. My basement just continues to fill up with your old stuff.
Yeah, pretty soon, like, your house is going to be Pete's house.
There's going to be a point where we reach equilibrium, and his attic or his mom's attic and my basement are almost indistinguishable from each other. But so far, we haven't hit that point.
Well, I'm glad that Pete doesn't send me this stuff because honestly, like the past few years, I've become more of a minimalist. So
yeah, I've been trying, but it's not working out for me.
Well, I mean, it's easier for me. There are like less people that reside in my house, first of all, and also Pete is not sending me the contents of his house.
That does help
via mail. So
okay, so I'm looking at for what it's worth here on Discogs. There's two CDs. One's for $3.99 and one's for $4. This one's in mint condition. This one's in mint condition too. So if this guy's selling for $4, what if I undercut him by $3.98? I can sell it. Well, thank you very much. All right, folks, we are back. Glenn Hughes. It's been a bit since we did a Glenn Hughes episode, a solo album, hasn't it?
I feel like we just did it, but I mean that also could have been like 3 years ago. I don't know.
It's been a bit.
No, I feel like we've done Hughesy more recently than maybe some other people, but
yeah.
Always down for some solo Hughes. I haven't heard most of it, so
yeah, exactly. It's a big, wide world of Hughes that we have to get into. So this should be very good. So let me get this album art over here for us, and we can go through the basics here. But basically, this one was released in 1998. It features on drums, once again, Matt Sorum on a couple tracks. We've got Gary Ferguson on percussion and drums on the remainder of the tracks. And I forget how to pronounce his name. I think it's Joachim Marsh on guitar, Mark Bonilla on guitar, and Steve Salas on guitar. And I feel like we talked about him before. He's worked with Eddie Money, Bootsy Collins, Was Not Was. And he also participated in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is why I remember him. Apparently, he did the Rufus guitar part at the end, where he does a little solo.
Yeah.
That's this guy, Stevie Salas.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty good solo. Mark Bonilla also plays keyboards. Hans Zerhumelen on a couple tracks on piano. Mark Bonilla also on piano. And then, of course, vocals, bass, co-producer Glenn Hughes. Really struggled to find any sort of reviews or contemporary interviews or anything about this. There was some stuff on the Internet Archive, but not a ton. Produced and engineered by Michael Scott. I feel like we had him before. I probably made a dumb joke about The Office. And then engineers Monique Mizrahi, Stephanie Gilden, and Tony Alvarez. And then that brings us to the album art. Oops, I think I moved all that album art over here. So for the album art, here is the cover that most folks know. If I can ever get to it. Where the heck is it? Here we go. So the Japanese release featured this album cover, which I will share with you. John, what do you think of the cover of The Way It Is?
There we go. Oh yeah, this is the Hughes just standing in a white room album cover. I've seen it before.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like if you just like kind of shifted the angle a little bit, you'd be like, oh, it's the Christmas album cover.
Yeah, just bring the camera over to the side a little bit. Well, he's wearing like a very like shiny sort of shirt.
Yeah, like he's ready to go to the club.
Yeah, this is definitely going to the club in 1999 look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at those shoes to his platform shoes, his platform heels.
Yeah, right. I mean, to say that this is the wildest outfit that he's ever worn is not true. We've seen much wilder. This, I think, like most of his other kind of solo album covers, is it's very um I'm trying to find the right word. Bland, I guess.
Yeah,
It doesn't really stick out. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all right, like picture Hughes, no real logo or anything. It's just kind of like, all right, I'm a solo artist. Here's my picture. There's the logo. Have a nice day. You lucky so and so. Listen to this album and you better like it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, I feel like this is the I'm a solo artist album cover. You've seen a lot of these. But I mean, this is it's cool because it's like a full body shot, and he is wearing that shiny shirt. I probably wore something like that at some point.
I think you did.
And I actually think that my dad wears those shoes now, like with orthopedic lifts. Yeah, the orthopedic lifts. But yeah, not much else to it except, I mean, if you wanted to talk about like there's kind of like that slight kind of like Slender Man shadow behind him.
Slender Man. Actually, now that you mention it, the shadow looks like almost like it's facing in the other direction.
Yeah, there could be something to dig into there,
He's got those long skinny legs are curving, so it's probably one of those. If you've been to a photo studio and it has like they just pull down that big white tarp or whatever, and it curves on the floor. So I don't know if that's why his shadow is curved like that.
Maybe makes it a little more interesting, but it looks like a kind of a not singer-songwriter in the way, like when you say this is a singer-songwriter album, you usually think of somebody with an acoustic guitar being like, but like like a singular solo artist album cover. Like this is what I think of when you're just like, oh, this is like somebody that put out their solo album. It's a good, pretty paint by numbers interpretation of what that's supposed to be. But that being said, it's not bad. It's cool. It's pretty basic. It's to the point.
I like the Glenn Hughes font, like his little
Yeah,
logo with like the capital letters that are the same size as the lowercase letters. It's kind of a cool.
yeah, yeah. It's clean.
Yeah, very clean. There's this. I think the Japanese release came with this blue tinted jewel case, so sometimes you'll see it
Neat.
like this. Then on the inside, we've got some more obviously photos. Picture of Glenn like turned around.
Looks like he's wearing his jacket from the
Christmas
from the
album.
from I was going to say from the Black Sabbath tour because he looks like a vampire.
Oh yeah, right.
But this was his short hair phase.
Yeah, he would have had to take in that jacket a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
There's him in negative and some studio shot. There's a shot of him down here, like look like he's going crazy. Nice little shot. That barrel, I don't even know if I'd recognize that picture of him up top there with the sunglasses on.
Yeah, it's like I get the feeling when you look at this. I was trying to like search for it before, but now that you're going through the booklet, it's almost like you're looking at like, oh, this is like a jazz artist CD or something like that,
Yeah. Yep.
Like he
I could
looks
see
like,
he plays
hey,
the clarinet or something.
yeah, I'm gonna do some smooth vibraphone now. Beep, 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 beep.
Might be wearing that same shirt too.
I mean,
The
Hughes
next
can
one,
pull the look off.
I love this like Glenn Hughes magician look here. This album is dedicated to all my fans across the universe who love pure Glenn Hughes music. Can you feel it? And it's got a picture of him just wow, like he just did a. I just love that.
He looks like bored. He's just like the last picture of the day is just like, are we done?
Yeah,
yet?
or that is like, oh, we're gonna do one more picture. Really? Click. Okay, we got it. But yeah, he looks like kind of like David Copperfield kind of feeling there.
Yeah.
So that's the little, for lack of a better term, gatefold. There's him kind of doing his Christmas album thing. Soulful Glenn on the right hand side, in shadows. Some more. Yeah, like the more I look at this, the more I think, yeah, this is like a jazz album. More studio pictures. There's him just kind of riffing in his. It looks like it's an alternate cover from the front of the album. The back, it's got like a little film strip of three different poses by Glenn.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like when you look at album covers, and I think I might have said it about one of his other ones, where you look at it and you're expecting a certain type of music by the art from it, like the way it's laid out and everything. And I know that that's probably why I avoided, or not avoided, but it's I guess at that time I wasn't like going to like seek them out. I wasn't going to like spend my hard-earned money on this because I'm just like, oh, okay, so like I guess like Hughes is just like Kenny G now, right? So
yeah. If you didn't know anything and you just replaced his face with Kenny G's face, and you're like, hey, check this out, this is a Kenny G album, you would not be surprised.
Or if you gave this CD cover and they to somebody that's like never heard of like Glenn Hughes or Deep Purple, and you like flip through this and tell me what kind of album you think this would be, like what kind of music do you think's on here based on like the way this guy's pictures look and the font and everything, and I would just not be remotely like a hard rock album.
Right. That's a couple of things from the Japanese release. And then the back cover, again, like you got a real super close up of those shoes, which actually almost looks fake. Is that real? It looks fake. Like his legs, I don't know if maybe they just stretched it out because his legs look super, super long and skinny, and the shoes just don't look real.
Yeah, those are hideous. Those look like Gene Simmons boots, but like, you know, unadorned. They're just like, well, this is the base model.
Yeah, we haven't put the bones and spikes on it yet.
Mhm.
It looks to me like I've cleaned up so many of those little Barbie shoes from my daughter that were around the basement. It looks like if I found two of those, I'd be like, all right, here we go. More of those damn Barbie shoes, throw them away. And then the U.S. release had a slightly different album, well, a very different album cover, which is the first, like half of that photo we saw earlier where he was throwing his hands up. There it is. Different logo, different font, different cover. I don't know why they would feel the need to have a different cover in America. Like we've talked about this a million times, but like we weren't prepared or ready for that other album cover. It was just too much for us. We had to ease into it. We can't handle Glenn Hughes we can't handle the shoes. Like those shoes are too tall. They just need to focus on his face.
So this is the US cover?
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because I've never seen it. I've only ever seen the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember seeing that other import with the Obi on the side and everything, but I don't remember ever seeing this in the record stores.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know how much later it came out, but there's on the inside he's doing the Heisman Trophy look thing, or that Drake meme. Remember the Drake meme where he's like going like this and then he's going like that. Yeah. This is I gotta turn this into a Glenn Hughes meme. Okay, I know I've got my work cut out for me this week. If only there was a picture of Glenn Hughes like pointing.
There's got to be somewhere.
Okay, yeah, this is perfect. I'm gonna get to work on that. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the album art. It was designed by Darwin Foy, owner of Fifth Density, which doesn't exist anymore. There's a archive link to their to the website. Did a lot of albums for Glenn Hughes around this time. A few albums, HTP, Joe Lynn Turner, all that sort of stuff. So in with this crew at least for a few years there. Additional photography by Geen Kirk. Geen.
Ed Geen.
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 Nice.
I was so focused on Kirkland and thinking about Costco that I called him Geen. Gene Kirkland. I don't know if there's any relation to the Kirkland line of products at Costco, but there you go. Kirkland, one of the worst logos ever designed. Absolutely horrible looking logo, but they get some good products. Good wines. Good wine selection. All right. So that's pretty much all we got. We'll get into our next level of patrons, and then we'll jump right into the music for The Way It Is. So here we are to thank our core level patrons at the $6.99, the nice price tier. We have Spike the Rock Cat's Ghost and Sugar Tea. At the episode $6.66 tier, we have Steve Coldwell, Arthur Smith,
getting support from the patron Arthur Smith,
and Charles Meadows. At the $6.65 Almost Evil tier, Kenny Wymore, Richie Sucksmith, and Sarah Jane.
Hello, Sarah Jane.
At the 70 Norwegian Kroner tier, we have Kai Runa, Yes, I'm Norwegian, Olsen.
it's a great life in the Norwegian.
At the €5.50 tier, we have Merline Rota. At the $4 Lucy Ford tier, we have Duncan Leask.
Dancing I want it, dancing I want it, a dancing I want it.
At the $5 Moneylender tier, John Convery, German Heindel, Jesper Alman, Alexei the Perfect Stranger, Slepikov, Kev Roberts, Scott Zerns, Cynthia Doobie, Raf Calf.
You guys ever have sex?
Coyote Bongwater. John Maselli.
A C? What did you get a C in?
Sex education?
C's good.
Sarah Sanders.
No! Kelly Clarkson!
Jelly Bean. Evan Robeson. Purple Swede.
Hookah, shaka, hookah, hookah. Swede?
Sweet, 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 sweet.
Ralphie Lee.
I'm not a rich man, and I'm not your friend, Rich, either.
Then we have
Patron Distribution upgrade.
Joe Dopefish Siegler. Where the heck is he? I didn't move him to the right spot.
Uh-oh.
I'll never find him. Where is it? Keep it warm, rat. There we go. Seamless. Nobody would even detect that I was late on the trigger for that one.
No.
Okay, so Glenn says about this album, and we talk about this every time we do one of his solo albums. If you go to glennhughes.com, you'll find that he has a little rundown of the album. Then he has his favorite song on the album, his favorite ballad on the album, because ballads aren't songs. And then he has a little blurb about it. And he says, I stand behind this album as one of my faves. It has tremendous depth, not as serious as some of my past work, but that's fine with me. This CD will grow on you. A well-recorded album with an immense understanding of pre-production. Jock and myself were locked away in my house in Los Angeles in November of 1998. I want to thank him for that healing period. And we open up. We're starting off strong with Glenn's favorite song on the album, written by himself, Sampo Axelson, and Jock Marsh, The Way It Is.
Okay. Not sure what to think yet.
You don't have to form your opinion just yet.
Well, I'm not sure what direction this is going in.
That could be a good thing.
In the silence of the morning comes a burning yellow light. A brand new day.
Now,
That's his bass, right? Right up front?
Yeah, the dum 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 dum.
Nice.
Ooh. Nice little. Oh, that sounded like you're on a submarine all of a sudden. I like the that kind of looping little synth thing in the background is pretty cool. Very mellow, chill opening.
I was gonna say we're not getting soul Hughes. We're not getting like addiction Hughes.
Yeah.
Like, heavy, really heavy rock.
that submarine sound effect is getting me.
Yeah, he's got some interesting sound effects layered throughout this.
And it's not quite brick-walled, but it's definitely very heavily compressed. This one we've got. Say who's playing what? Oh, I sound almost like Richie there, like a little.
I was going to say it's
Stormbringer solo.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very interesting. It sounds like a very Stormbringer era Richie solo. Could have been intentional by him.
All the pictures I'm looking up of Sampo Axelson have him with a bass.
Ooh.
Sampo Axelson, who does the solo on this.
Oh.
Might just be one of those.
Maybe you'd like to be photographed with a bass.
It's like, no, wait, let me get a bass for this. Why? I guess he plays bass in the band he's in right now. I think what we have here is some very mellow Hughes. Definitely not a not starting off the album with a like bombastic rocker, but just starting you off more with vibes.
I mean, that could set the tone for the album. We don't know.
It could. It could be, or maybe the next one's going to be, you never know with Hughes. He could go funky, R&B. He could get really heavy, hard rock. So what do you think of The Way It Is?
Well, I have to admit, it did grow on me a little bit. So, as we were listening, so, 3.5.
All right.
Yeah, and like I said, when it started out, I'm like, okay, I don't instantly know where this is gonna go. Because I kind of got kind of like an old country western type of feeling from it because that kind of like sound effect that you said sounded like a whale or whatever, like or a submarine. Yeah, it kind of sounded almost like kind of an old country western sound effect, but then it kind of, evolved into sounding like something else. But you had the little it was good because it was like it was really bass driven, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, the whole track and the solo is definitely reminiscent of something Richie did, even down to like the way that I'm not just like the tone and just the way it was played. It was almost like if you said like, "Oh yeah, Richie came in and did like a guest spot," I would have believed you, you know. Um, but yeah, and then there like some synth or keyboard effects throughout, like I thought were pretty interesting. I don't think it distracted too much from the track though.
It was very sparing in that like little bong, whatever that little pinging noise that a submarine would make. It's like
Yeah.
Pink Floyd Echoes uses that on that song, which is the only thing it really have in common with this song.
Yeah. So far, it sounds like it just some pretty, I say like easy listening rock, but not easy listening in the definition that we usually use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like or like a light rock. It's just this isn't like heavy rock or like kind of bombastic hues. It's more of like just kind of a lighter edged rock, maybe a smoothed over, just like it's something, but it's not heavy. Maybe melodic rock,
Yeah.
you know. But anyways, yeah, pretty decent stuff. How about
Pretty good.
what do you give it?
I'll give it a 3.5 as well. Thought it was we're so used to in this style of music having like a barn burner kind of opener, but I like a little mellow. This is very atmospheric, very setting the vibe, setting the tone, perhaps for the album, or maybe just setting a tone it's not going to follow up with. I've heard this album once or twice, but just in the background while I was doing other things, not really super focused on it. There's one song that really sticks out to me that I remember really, really liking on this album. Other than that, I don't really remember anything specific. So for all intents and purposes, I'd call this almost like a first time listen. And I don't really remember this track at all. But it's a nice, cool opening for the album.
Now let's see if it's indicative of what's to come.
Let's see. Well, the next album is called You Kill Me. Ooh. Not what I would have expected.
That's different.
Hard panned all the way on the right side there, too. Damn.
All right. Much different vibe.
Yes. Kind of
like a funky blues.
Funky Led Zeppelin.
Well, I'll forgive him because nobody says like, "Oh, Glenn Hughes is trying to be Robert Plant."
Yeah, he doesn't have to shed that reputation like you know who. Somebody did send a video to me the other day of. Did I send it to you guys? It was Arnold doing Led Zeppelin, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's one of those over-the-top Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. It's so good. You kill me. I kill me. Isn't that what Alf used to say?
Yeah.
I kill me.
Oh, that's a good Elf.
Was it?
I mean, from what I can remember.
Ah!
I don't think I've heard Alf since like 1987, so that's my best recollection of what he sounds like.
Good. We'll go with me having a great Alf impression.
Ah!
Where's your cat?
Willie!
I like this a lot. I think I forgot to mention. This one is
yeah.
written by Hughes and Salas.
See, I would call this heavier, but I definitely wouldn't call this heavy. Maybe the way that it's produced.
Listen to that. It's like hard funk.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't open with this.
Yeah. Especially that really uncomfortable opening. Especially when you're wearing headphones of just getting that bass in the right channel only, and it just feels so lopsided, and then all of a sudden, you know it's going to come, but it just kicks everything in at the same time. It's almost like a relief, like it releases that tension. That snare is so 1999 too. It's just like that compression of the snare. It's just this little. But I personally love that sound on a snare, like a super, super tight, highly compressed snare like that. Probably because this is when I was at the peak of my, when we opened the recording studio and we were recording things, we were always just looking to get that super, super compressed sound.
Yeah. But
John, what do you think of You Kill Me?
Willie!
Ah! Willie. You could tell we were huge Alf fans.
That's all that I mean, that's when we grew up. Oh, Willie, where's your cat?
Yeah, he's always looking for your cat.
And then I don't remember anybody else. What was the kid's name? What was the wife's name?
I never really watched it. My cousin Jeff used to like it. I was not a big Alf fan. And I did you remember the episode of the Golden Girls podcast where they did a deep dive on Alf? Apparently the guy who did Alf was completely insane.
Yeah. And
they've tried to reboot Alf like 20 times, but this guy keeps sabotaging it because he has insane demands and he's like always an Alf character and stuff. Sounds like a lunatic. The guy who did Alf is a prima donna. like he thinks he's got something like so amazing here.
It's like, yeah, me and Max Headroom, we were huge.
Nobody could touch our level of art.
Anyways, I don't know how we even got onto this, but
because you kill me.
Yeah. Okay. So I give it a 3.5. I think it's another it's another good track. Maybe a little bit derivative formulaic type of bluesy type of thing, but I like the way that he keeps it funky. He got some interesting sounds. I think the production kept it from being like addiction heavy, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would still say that it's I don't know, like just hearing these two, I would have maybe flip-flopped the tracks and had this the order, you know, had this be the first one. It would have been a great way to lead it off. But yeah, you know, like I said, I thought that the first track indicated kind of where we were going musically, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, pretty good stuff, you know. And I mean, Hughes, of course, he's, you know, consistently sounds great.
Oh yeah,
so, I mean, the guy he's still sounding great.
His voice is just never like so basically never had a bad day. Like he's just always 100%. And then you see him live, and you're like, "Yep, he's even live." It's just like he doesn't hit a off note. It's truly remarkable. I don't understand how anyone could be that good at singing, that they could be that consistent. Whether or not you care for the style he has, that's up to you. Personally, obviously, I love it, but I could understand saying, okay, well, maybe his style is not for me.
Yeah.
But you can't dispute the fact that he just is constantly on and hits every note. He's like, you know, very much like there's some singers just like that are just like perfect. Like even Stevie Wonder now is just delivering these incredible vocals, and you're like, I don't know how it's possible that you haven't lost a step. Okay, I will give this one a 4. I really liked it. I thought it was a really strong track. Like that, and I think when he does this kind of this little style he's doing, I think it can get old if it's like one song after another in that kind of style. But when it's staggered with other things, I really, really like it. But if it was like the next 4 songs are exactly like this in the tempo and everything, I'd probably get a little fatigued.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, the next track is called Never After. It's like a little sneaky evil sort of riff.
Almost like a Sail Away.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I wish Jonathan was here. I could ask him if this is a dinosaur riff. It sounds like it could be. I like. Oh no, this is kind of like a little open spot here, but I like how in the riff they're throwing in little tiny variations like that.
Still very bass heavy. The bass sounds very full on this track.
Yes. Oh wow. That part for some reason reminded me of Stone Temple Pilots. I don't know why. That change. Ooh, you hear those little like synth violins in the background?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Wow, he's really going out of control here.
Yeah.
here's the Getting Tighter breakdown.
Yep.
That Nate's always waiting for.
That's great. Oh, wow. So this song has clavinet by Hans Zermaheulen, and strings by Mark Bonella. I don't know who's doing guitar though. Oh wow.
The very like different kind of riff.
Yes.
And I mean, the arrangement's interesting too.
And I think I looked up an old archived version of this page for this album that showed more information about who played what. But it's like, it was erased in like 2000. I don't know why.
To make more room on the internet.
Yeah, they were like, oh, the website is 640K over what we can stand. You have to make some edits. I really like that when it just goes to that riff all by itself there. Ooh. This is a weird, like, heavy but very funky song.
Yeah. It's like Hughes is doing some real genre bending here.
He is.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but I like it. Ooh. Okay, here. Yeah, I found the old archived page. Jacques Marsh on guitar on this one.
All right.
Long fade on that one.
Yeah, because I mean, you have like this real kind of I don't know, it's almost like a clean jazzy type of bass.
Yep.
And then this distorted guitar, but it's not like it's just like overdriven, you know. It's not like, it's kind of crunchy, but it's not like, it's not rock, it's not metal. And the riff is different, and then it kind of goes into like a little bit of a slower kind of a bridge. It was really kind of an interesting song.
Yeah, all over the place. So
yeah.
What do you think about this one then?
I'll give another 3.5 for that.
All right.
Yeah.
I will give this, man, I think I'm going to give it another 4. I really liked it. Yeah, just very, the tone of that guitar and the little bass work, the arrangement was very, I don't know, like I'd have to listen to it again. In my mind, the arrangement is very unpredictable and kind of all over the place. For all I know, it could be ABCD, but it just seemed like it was constantly going into parts that you wouldn't expect it to go to.
Yeah,
maybe it's just because the parts were so different.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the arrangement's actually very simple, but the transitions were really, really cool. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. Okay, the next track up is called Rain on Me, and this one is by Hughes and Marsh. Crosstown Traffic.
You're right. Already sounds very Jimmy inspired.
And we're getting a Jimmy cover later in the album. So
Yeah, it's like I'm getting that a lot of the style here is like kind of a mix of like blues and funk.
Yeah, like that Hendrix 70s style funk. Or early 90s Lenny Kravitz retro Hendrix funk.
Did not think that's where this was going.
No, right?
It's nice though.
Yeah, and a lot of really cool guitar sounds on this album.
It's almost like there's three different parts to the song. You know, there's the verse, like, and I know that three different parts, but like they're distinct. They're almost like three different like styles. Because this is very like almost like an epic sounding chorus, which doesn't really go along with kind of like the Stevie Ray Vaughan type of like verse.
Yeah.
Or Jimi Hendrix.
Wow. It looks like this is Jacques Marsh again on guitar.
And it sounds really Steve Vai-ish to me.
Yeah.
You played on the last album, right? You played with them before, right?
Vi?
No, the Marsh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Yep.
No, because I was going to say he must use some of the same techniques or been a little bit influenced by Vai, because I can hear a little bit of that in his playing. And I mean, Steve Vai is really distinctive.
Yeah. I mean, I would think anybody around this time period of this genre would be influenced by Vi in some way.
Yeah, but even so, I don't ever hear anybody saying like, "Oh, Steve Vai was really a big influence on me," and then you could like hear it the way you could hear like maybe like that first part of the song sounded like, "Oh yeah, that's very Hendrix."
Yeah,
you know, like I would think that he would be a very like distinct person to like borrow from. You know, yeah, it's kind of like if you're just like, "Oh, Steve Morse is like, I'm really influenced by Steve Morse." It's like it's a really specific person to be influenced by that you would be like emulating. You know?
Yeah, and I think it's more like you'd be also it's just he's so technical and so
right.
It's like chasing a ghost or something. It's impossible. Yeah. Like I think he inspired a lot of people, but there's not like, oh, this is a distinct lick that you're gonna steal from Vi because he's so unpredictable.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like it's the
kind of like a slow ballad fade out.
Strange kind of woman interlude sort of thing. Or Woman from Tokyo, sorry.
Feel the rain. Can you feel the rain? I can feel that.
He ends on I could feel the. What can you feel? I feel like I have to whisper now.
All right, weirdo. Calm down.
All right, can you feel it, John? What do you feel for Rain on Me?
Yeah, I'm feeling a 3.
All right.
I think it's good. I think it's interesting, but I'm getting the feeling that this album is very studio album. It's like let's be songwriters and let's like do like some really like intentionally creative, difficult, kind of throw you a curveball type of stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. Not bad at all. But to me, it kind of my listening experience makes it a little makes it what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm very aware of it. I'm very aware that I'm listening to an album that's being like intentionally constructed to sound a certain way.
So it's like distracting you in a way.
Yeah, which I mean, that I really like that kind of like freewheeling demo style, almost like we're out of control. We don't know what the hell we're doing type of music. And this is very well crafted too. I mean, it's well crafted. But it is a little distracting because I'm noticing it. That it's just like, oh, okay, now we're gonna do this part and we're gonna be really, and like him whispering at the end, it's like, okay, now I'm trying to be like, really like poetic. I'm trying to achieve something to lay down on tape type of vibe. So doesn't mean it's not good. It's just kind of brings it down a notch for me because it's not really what I like to listen to. But overall, still a pleasant listen. It's really interesting to hear what's going on, what he's doing here.
Yeah. I will give it a 3.5. I really like the studio. I don't know what word to use, but like something that sound. I like the idea of an album that magic. I like the studio magic, things that you couldn't necessarily or wouldn't necessarily do live. So I give it a 3.5. I like it quite a bit. And he did leave us off with that little whisper at the end, and it looks like by the looks of it, the next song might actually have the final word here before we get into the next song. This song is called Curse, and it is Hughes calls this his favorite ballad on the album. I remember this. This is the song that I was talking about earlier that I remember and that I remember really liking. So let's take a listen to see what the last word is. Here on Curse. Well, there you go. Yeah, so it starts with Mellotron, so that's probably why I liked it. I'm a sucker for Mellotron. A little coast to coast feel.
All right, I'm digging it. See what I mean? That little ting, that little click. Intentional stuff like that is cool, but it's bringing me out of it a little bit. Because I feel like they were like sitting around like, what if we do this? Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of Beatles-esque things like those strings in the background. That's probably why I liked it.
This is good though. I really like the verse. You're right, it does have very kind of coast to coast feel.
Great bass in this too.
This is more like the smooth jazz Hughes.
Yeah, and generally that is not something that I like, not a style that I like, but at the same time, if you can ride that line at just the right, it's like it's like medicine, you know. It's good until you take too much and it kills you. Right. So it's like if you can ride that smooth jazz just close enough, I'm gonna love it. Crank it up like 1% more, and I'm gonna hate it.
But I feel like, we're listening to like the verse in the song, and you can hear this is like a cocktail party.
Yes.
A proper cocktail party.
We've talked about this a million times. A thing that I really love, things that really get me, like Butterfly Ball Wizards Convention, is that blend of acoustic and synth elements together. And right there, it's like you heard the trail off of the Mellotron, which is this analog synthy sound with a strumming of an acoustic guitar, and it's like I love that. I just love that, those things playing together like that. So far, I like the balance of the songs, too. Like, if the whole album was just this nonstop, it would be too much, but you've got, like, it started kind of like this, then you had, like, a heavier funk element, then it slowed down a little bit, so it's ping-ponging. Oh, that's cool. The, like, competing melody lines, I like that too. Kind of a haunting little ending there. Oh. And then must go right into the next song there. Some blending of tracks. John, you still live with the curse? What do you give the curse?
Is that what that was what this was called, huh? Curse.
Called Curse, yeah. Curse. Not what you think when you hear a song title called Curse.
No. If the chorus was just like, fuck. I'm just cursing.
Oh, curse.
There you go. Not like casting a curse, but cursing.
Yeah,
see?
just
see wrong with that?
4-letter words.
All right. You know what? I'll give it a 3.5. I enjoyed the verse more. I didn't really like the chorus of dun 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 dun. Didn't like that.
That's probably why you don't like the Beatles. It's a lot of dano dano.
Yeah.
Well, Rich actually sent me a really great video the other day that was this guy showing, who's like this really great pianist, and he was showing the different styles of how each individual Beatle plays the piano. And it was really interesting because like Paul McCartney is by far the best, overall musician in the group and the best piano player and pretty much the best. He was the best drummer, the best guitar player, the best everything in the band basically, but showed his piano style. And then this kind of cuts back to a dino. This is like a John Lennon style, like Strawberry Fields, obviously with the Mellotron that kind of conjures up that song, but it kind of made me think of that, and there's a lot of that going on in the song, and in a lot more songs than just the John Lennon one. So that might be what you're not feeling with the curse.
Maybe. I did, however, enjoy the callback, the feeling of Coast to Coast, which is just kind of like the goal, the brass ring of what you want to achieve, in my opinion, when you're going for a ballad, especially if it's a Hughes ballad. I don't know if he's ever done anything that I've enjoyed that much as like as a ballad.
Maybe you should have named it Curse to Curse. Curse to Curse.
No, let's not do that. But I think there were enough good elements in the song where I'll give it a little higher marks on that. I found stuff in there to enjoy, but yeah, not really the chorus so much. That
Especially when you make it sound dumb.
Because that's how I hear it.
Well, I can see why you don't like it as much as I do, because if I heard it like that, I wouldn't like it either. I will give this one a 4.5. I really like it. I think it's the one that I remembered. I couldn't remember which song it was, but I remember it sticking out to me. And then from the second it kicked off, I was like, "Yep, this is the one." Again, I am a sucker for like a mellotron in a song. So, okay, I think that takes us to the last song we will get into this week, which is the Jimi Hendrix cover "Freedom."
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So this one I don't remember at all. So I remember listening to this one, like I said, a couple of times in the background. I don't remember saying, "Oh, that's a Jimi Hendrix song." So I don't know if that means it's like completely out there cover or if I just wasn't paying attention at all. But I'm interested to get into it and see what Hughes does with a Hendrix song. So here we go. "Freedom." Okay, I must not have been paying attention.
Nope.
Jesus Christ, it's like a... Okay.
Wow, yeah, it's really bass heavy.
Yeah. It's not an out there cover at all. I must have... Maybe I turned it off after Curse. No, this is great. I mean, this is straightforward. This would be great on a Hendrix cover album. Nice. This one's Jock Marsh again, Gary Ferguson on drums, Mark Bonilla I'm sorry, wrong one. Jock Marsh on guitar, Ferguson on drums, and Hughes on bass vocals. The Glenn Hughes Experience.
Give it to me.
It's great. I mean, we listened to a lot of Hendrix in high school, and I have not listened to a lot of Hendrix for a long time. But then you hear something like this, and you're like, God damn, he was good. Nice. Yeah, the bass tone on this is just great. Do you listen to Hendrix anymore ever?
I don't think I've actually listened to a legit Hendrix song in a while.
Because I feel like you heard it. I mean, he didn't have a huge catalog, obviously, for sad reasons, and you listened to so much of it when we were younger. Yeah. You just reach a point where you're like, well, I know all those songs.
Well, that's it.
I gotta.
Oh, and then there were all the outtakes and unreleased track songs and everything.
Still coming out with new albums.
Right, but then there was the alternate versions of the same songs. So I mean, there's only so much you can listen to it.
I really liked the Voodoo Soup album. I thought that was awesome. There's a lot after this song. Let's see what happens here. Might be a lot of studio chatter after this, John. Let's see.
Yeah, baby! You say that? Yeah, baby! You say the yeah, baby? You got the yeah, baby? You got yeah, baby? Great, cool. Fuck, hey, say the yeah, baby, because they'll understand the yeah, baby, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? One more cigar for the boy in blue. You know what I'm talking? Yeah, right. Yeah, I dig that. Thank you and good night.
Was he trying to reference Austin Powers? Yeah, baby.
I don't know, but that was a lot.
There was a lot. It was
a lot coming from Hughes.
It was a full 30 seconds or something of
yeah, baby.
After the fact. Do you remember when we used to record with Dave, and he would it was shortly after the first Austin Powers movie came out, and he always wanted to say yeah baby after we were done recording, and I'd always have to be like, don't do it. And there's one where it's like, yeah baby. He couldn't resist. The cymbals were, I'd always be like, don't make any sound, let the cymbals decay, and he just couldn't help it. And he went, yeah baby. I think we put it on the album.
Maybe. Heard any of
That's
that
what it just reminded me of. Maybe Glenn Hughes had just seen Austin Powers.
Yeah, I mean, it just came out, I think. Or was around,
it came out the summer of 97, so it'd been out for a little bit. But all right, John, what do you think of this cover of Freedom?
I'll give it another 3.5. I'm going 3.5s across this whole album here.
Pretty much, almost, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was no, it was good, but again, I think that it's yeah, some of that overproduced stuff, where you go, give it to me. Huh? It's I was very aware that it was an overdub. Mm-hmm. And all of that, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting my own stuff onto it, but it's just I don't know, I feel like that it was this forced clowning around at the end of the song, yeah baby, and then let's keep it in, and it's just stuff like that just
I know you hate that.
Ugh. It's but all this, everything on this album just makes me so aware that they were recording an album. So it's just that. I think that's just kind of the theme of it. So it's objectively it's not bad, but subjectively to me it's kind of annoying. So it's and but I mean it was nice to hear some Jimi Hendrix, it was especially not the same thing, oh, let's do Voodoo Child again, yeah. Something a little more left of center, I guess. But yeah, I feel you have to be in a really specific mood to be listening to stuff like that, like Hendrix, Cream, all of that stuff that was 20, 25 years removed from when we were in high school, and we're just which is stuff from the early 2000s would be right now, but
not really, because I mean when we were in high school it would have been 20 years old at that point. Well, I guess Cream a little older, but
that's what I said. Yeah,
but yeah, 20 to 25 years. Yeah, so it's imagine listening to something from 2005. I don't think I can name an album that came out in 2005.
Or well, I mean, 25 years would be 2001 now. So, right? But
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Yeah, but in that general area, I guess.
But I mean, the point being is when we were in high school, like the whole, you know, late 60s, early 70s thing was really big in terms of like if you're going to listen to something retro, you know, that's what all, you know, that was. So it's just like I feel like for me anyways, I'd have to be in a really specific mood to want to hear stuff like this or um, you know, Cream, any, you know, all that, you know, early 70s, you know, Clapton type of stuff, like all this, you know, genre of music. But and after hearing it, it's again subjectively, I'm really not in the mood.
Not in the mood today. Well,
Yeah,
I
no,
guess,
not today.
in fairness, what do you think of the original song?
No, I think it's good. You know, I think that it's like it's hard. It's it's hard to like unless you're like really doing a faithful rendition of Hendrix stuff. I think it's hard to kind of like recreate his stuff or like cover it rather. Um, I remember hearing like the Stevie Ray Vaughan Voodoo Child and just being like, all right, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I feel like you know, if Hughes was like a little dirtier, less polished doing it, you know, I mean, his singing's great. You know, I think it's like, you know, this is one of those where I'm just like, if he like recorded his vocals over the original Hendrix track, it would have worked, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, the Hendrix stuff really is bluesy, but it has that kind of soul in it too, you know?
Right.
So, but yeah, anyways, I don't know. I guess I have complex feelings about this album.
I know. I like it. I like it's like
Yeah.
it's like we're doing therapy almost to figure out.
Yes, yes. Yes, let me lay on the fainting couch and you can just take a notepad and like analyze me.
So tell me more about that. Tell me more about your feelings on the Jimi Hendrix experience. It's hard to separate it out from. There's some things that are just so classic and so foundational that's hard to separate it out and listen to it in a vacuum and judge it that way. And I feel like Hendrix and like you mentioned, Cream are very much that way. Like it's easy to say now, it's almost like you don't really want to go back to and revisit it as much because you've heard it so much. And not only have you heard it so much, you've heard it transformed into other things and all the things that inspired that it's almost it feels derivative even though it's pretty revolutionary in and of itself. So that's kind of how I feel about Hendrix. So it is, you know, good, but it's like watching Casablanca. If you didn't know that everything in that movie was the first time it had been done, you'd be like, "Oh my God, they're throwing every cliche in the book, but it's everyone's copied."
That's where that's where the cliche came from.
This is where it all came from. And if you didn't know that, you just think this is just derivative garbage.
And you also would know that that's where like people misquote it too, you know, or
yes,
like
exactly. Yeah.
When you go back to the original, right? Because he never said, "Play it again, Sam."
Does he say "play it, Sam" or something?
He goes, "Play it, Sam."
Yeah, play it, Sam.
Play Misty for me. I don't know. I can't remember what he said. It's been a long time since I've seen.
You're misquoting it now.
I know. Actually, I've seen like more recently the sequel, which was a little more spicy. It was called Asablanca.
I was like, wow, there was a sequel? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Yes. Asablanca.
Perfectly set up. And I didn't know he was going to do that. I'm going to give this one a 4. I think it's a really great cover of a really great song. Definitely didn't go outside the box at all on it, but the only thing that would probably bring it down a little more for me is I just don't generally like covers on albums. Not from an established artist like this. Actually, not really. There's a few covers, like exceptions to the rule, but in general, my rule is don't freaking put a cover on an album if you're an established artist, or even if you're a new artist. It just, to me, it just doesn't seem like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Done live could be really, really great. If they threw this in live, I'm sure people would eat it up because it's recognizable. Everyone loves it. There's a few examples, obviously, where people just completely made something their own, changed it into something almost unrecognizable where it works.
Right.
But I can't argue with this version of the song. I think they do a great job.
Right. I mean, I know these people are, oh, we love this song. It's great. Keep it to yourself, you know? Like, they're just like, oh, we were jamming on it in the studio, and then we just decided that you know, we're jamming on it in the studio. We just thought, hey, let's throw on the album. You know what? You know what it is? I feel like I'm doing an impression of this guy called Space Frehley.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I think you've sent me videos by him.
Yeah, that was that guy. The guy on YouTube,
yeah.
right? Is like he's impersonating like current day Ace Frehley. So he has on like the big brown wig and
current,
like
recent day Ace Frehley.
Yeah, right, with the big wig and like the goatee and the glasses and everything, and he's just like he talks like him too, and he accentuates the accent too. He's just like, you guys have been asking me if I could do the solo from you know, and then and when he does the line, he's just like, you know, I got my lips Gibson Les Paul custom, you know. And it was, I asked my wife if I could buy. I didn't ask my wife if I could buy it, but you know, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Zoom just cut out his. You're gonna have to go to the audio version for John's Ace laugh. Zoom would never recognize an Ace laugh as being something you'd actually want in the audio.
No. But anyways, yeah. So I guess I was lapsing into my Space Frehley impression, which is an impression of the real Ace. When I'm talking about people saying, "Hey, let's put this cover on an album."
Yeah, we were jamming on it in the studio.
And we say, hey, that sounds great. Why don't we just put it on the album? Because it'll be easier than having to come up with another song.
Why have 11 tracks when you could have 12?
No, well, I'm sure that there were some, what do you call it? There were some exceptions, like you said. I wish I could think of one off the top of my head.
The one that always sticks out to me is the Cardigans version of is it War Pigs? No, Iron Man. They do a few. I think they do a few different Sabbath covers, and they are just. If they changed the words, you would have no idea that they were even attempting to cover the song. But they're very like dark sounding and like haunting, not just straight up metal. But when you learn, like, the guy from the Cardigans was like a metal guitarist and went on to just form a metal band after the Cardigans. That was like what he wanted to do. But they did it in this very, like, she's got this very sweet, airy sounding voice, and it makes it into something totally different. It makes you hear the song in a way you've never heard it before. So when they cover something like a Black Sabbath song, I think that works for me. It doesn't always work for me in other situations.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I rank this one? Yes, I did. Did I? I gave it a 4.
Did I? Yes. Yeah. Did I?
I might be restating myself, but yeah, I give it a 4. So,
okay.
Before we wrap up for this week, we will move on to the final chapter of an episode where we thank our last but not least collection of patrons, and of course that would be at the £3.50 Deep Purple New York tier. We have Lord Longford. At the £3 Aromatic Feed tier, Simon Ford. At the €3.50 tier, Weston Supermare Pilgrim. At the 293 pence tier, we have
Blackmore Tights.
At the €2.50 tier, we have the Too Many Tears tier. We have Soldier of Fortune.
Too many tears.
At the $3.33 Halfway to Evil tier, we have Stephen Sharp. At the where the heck is it? At the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier, we have Peter Gardeau.
Pete who? Oh, Pete, yeah. Pete, thanks a lot. I'm going to have a sip on you.
Ian DeRosier. Mark Roback. Stuart McCord. Ivan Fjellbu. Runar Simonsen. Ruinous Inadequacies. Corey Morissette. Adam Cork, Tim Wood, Steve Down to Earth, Kohler. Where's Steve Kohler's thing?
Make your love. All right.
That's why. Michael, Matt in Vegas, and Lizus Christ Superstar. At the 19.31 Cold Hard Danish Kroner tier, we have Karsten Lau.
Cold Hard Danish Kroner.
And at the Mausoleum, at the $1 made up name tier, the Mausoleum's Curse, Leaky Mausoleum, Stephen Somerville, the Concerto 1999 Fanatic, Hank the Tank, Private Eyes, Ashen Lionel, Swapper the Electric Alchemist, Anders Engstrom, ICDC, Durple Purple, David Haddam, Graham Bonnet's Disco Pants and Haircuts.
I said, Graham, our audience expects you to be a bit more dirty.
Disco pants and haircuts, yeah.
I'm just going to put my guitar across his head.
And Sick Tone.
Where is she? Where is she?
Just about to close up the library.
Thank you so much to all of you for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. Oh no, John's back with his mustache.
I was waiting for you to notice.
I didn't have I had the notes up, so I didn't see you. Yeah, we were messing around before the show and trying to get John to have the settings that I have on my camera. He has settings that I don't have, like the ability to give himself this horrific mustache. And I have settings he doesn't have, like my blurred background. So I don't know what's going on with Zoom.
I mean, I like the mustache. I think I'll keep it for a little while.
Are you going to grow one so you don't have to do that, or are you?
Nah.
I think it works for you. It gives you got kind of that Freddie Mercury look. Freddie Mercury with better teeth.
Yeah, I do have much better teeth than he did, but I don't sing nearly as well.
No, yeah. Your teeth are better than him, but you're just slightly behind him in the singing category.
Deo. Deo. Day. That's my best Freddie Mercury.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's almost like he's in the room right now.
It's almost like he's in the stadium right now with you.
Deo. Hey.
Oh, well, we're halfway through another Glenn Hughes album. I seem to be ranking it a little more favorably than you are, but who knows what the next half will contain. Maybe it'll turn around into a hard rock extravaganza that really gets John, or maybe it will stay along these lines. Hard to tell.
Yeah, we don't know. Who knows?
Nobody knows. Nobody.
I don't. I feel like lately, though, these albums have not been coming back around. Like the part two, like the second half, doesn't usually shock me. It was like, ooh, all of a sudden it's something else. Like it's happened before, but
well, I feel like you're liking it, but it's not like totally. Oh, there you go. John tried to get rid of his mustache and got rid of his whole video.
Sorry.
I feel like
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're liking it, but generally there's been points where there's a lull where like you're almost annoyed with it, or just kind of over it, and it just doesn't rebound. Like they'll start super strong, and then wane and then just end on a dull note. And this one, for you anyway, I feel like it's been pretty consistent the whole way through of you're liking it, but it's not blowing you away. And for me, I'm a little bit more favorable. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, that's not to say, again, like I said before, it's not, I don't dislike it. It's just, it's not my favorite. It's not what typically I'm looking for from an album. Not my favorite Hughes stuff, but definitely interesting. And I do appreciate the fact that he's like, writing, has always been writing a lot of songs, wants to get creative in the studio. Like, I mean, we've all been there. Sure. If you're a musician, wanting to, do the talking after a track or adding in the little, like, the little tings here and there. And
yeah, baby.
Not that, but
anyway, when we last recorded, I had a lot of little chocolate coins from Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Now all I seem to have on my desk is empty chocolate coin wrappers. So
that's it.
I have to go upstairs and crack some skulls. All right, folks. Well, we will be back at you next week with part 2 of The Way It Is, unless something crazy happens between now and then. But it should be part 2 next week. So
yes.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Heyo.
If you like the Deep Purple podcast and would like to support the show, please consider joining our Patreon or donating on PayPal. Patrons get full access to the podcast, Discord server, ratings, spreadsheets, and live stream invites. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, or Threads. You can also check out the website at deeppurplepodcast.com for show notes and more. Contact us via email at John or Nate at deeppurplepodcast.com. Thanks for listening.